Hello everyone, Richard here and welcome to a new overview here on AltCryptoTalk. While the entire crypto market has been shaking, a couple of R tokens or tokens starting with the letter R pumped very hard, just like Rare, Res, and many more. So today I'll call it the R overview and I'll be covering 5 interesting altcoins starting with the letter R. Starting with Rare, we have been overall bearish long-term trading within this big wedge pattern, and this week we've rejected the lower bound of it and the 0.05 round number and surged by over 130%. However, for the bulls to remain in control long-term, a break above the upper band of the wedge and the 0.15 round number is needed. In this case, I'll be targeting the 0.2 as a first target. Short-term, if you zoom into H1 time frame, we are around a demand zone. So as we retest it, I'll be looking for short-term longs. Here's a practical example. Previously, we had an explosive movement from here, which makes it a strong demand zone. Price went down, filled it, and then pumped hard. And now the exact same thing. History is repeating itself. Demand zone, explosive movement, retesting it, we'll be looking for short-term longs. Next, we've got Res. After being bearish for a while, making lower lows and lower highs, we had an accumulation phase at the beginning of last week. And then we broke above it, so the momentum has been shifted from bearish to bullish. And you can clearly see it visually, right? We are now trading within this rising broadening wedge, as you can see in blue. Now, we've got our impulse, correction phase in the shape of a wedge pattern in red, another impulse, and we are currently in this correction phase in the shape of a wedge pattern. And guess what will happen once we break it upward? The exact same thing as previously. We'll be expecting a big impulse to push towards the upper bound of this rising wedge. So as we break it upward, I'll be targeting the 0.04 round number. Meanwhile, short term, as we retest this lower bound of the wedge pattern in red, wedge pattern in blue, and also this demand zone, I'll be looking for short-term longs. Next, we've got Rio. It's approaching a massive 0.1 round number, which is also the all-time low, as you can clearly see. We have been bearish after breaking below the 0.5 round number, which was a resistance zone. Support now turned into a resistance, and we are currently trading within this falling wedge pattern. For the bulls to take over long term and target the 0.5 again, a break above this wedge pattern is needed. In this case, we'll be looking for trend following longs. Short term, if you zoom into H1 time frame, you can see that we are also bearish trading within this falling channel in blue. For the bulls to take over short term, a break above the 0.2 and this previous high is needed. In this case, I'll be expecting a movement towards the 0.28. And then long term, as I showed you from daily time frame, a break above the 0.28 would lead to a movement towards the 0.5. Next, we've got Render, RENDR. It's approaching a massive support zone. It's an oversold area because it's the lower bound of this falling channel in red, which lines up perfectly with a previous structure, a previous resistance, turned support, and also a demand zone. As long as the 2 round number holds, which is a very strong support, I'll be looking for this bullish correction phase. It's a correction, but it's from weekly time frame, so it might lead to a 300% move from 2 towards the 6. If you go to H4 time frame, we are also bearish. If you go to H1 time frame, very similar to Rio. We are bearish trading within this falling channel, and if you break above this previous major high at 3.2, I'll be expecting a short-term bullish movement towards the 4 round number. And then long-term, as I mentioned, as we break above this area, the upper bound of this blue channel and orange channel and previous major high, I'll be expecting a longer term bullish movement towards the 6 or even the 7. Last but not least, we've got Rose. We have been bearish, very similar to RENDR chart, around the lower bound of this falling channel, also the 0.03 round number. As long as this holds, I'll be looking for this correction phase, which will lead to a 300% or 3x movement from 0.3 towards the 1 round number, which is also a supply zone, a structure, previously support and resistance, and now acting as a resistance zone, which is also, as I mentioned, a very strong round number 0.1. Short term, if you zoom into H4 time frame, for the boost to take over, a break above this falling channel is needed, as you can see in red. In this case, a movement towards the 0.037 would be expected, and then if you break above it, we'll be expecting a movement towards the 0.1 round number. That's it for today. Let me know if you like the series and which letter you would like me to cover next. Maybe X, which will be XRP, XDC, XEN, XLM. Who knows? This would be an idea. Of course, if you like the series, like the video, make a comment, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one.